Okay, look, I know you're probably sick of hearing me talk about the Pixel 3 and how it's a bumpy release and that there's a lot of crappy things that's happened. I think you get it, but I promise this will probably be the last one for a while. I'll try to keep it a bit more interesting, but I'm sorry, Google just makes this too easy and too fun to be like, well, there's another big problem we gotta worry about now. So, today's problem is about charging, primarily how the Pixel 3 handles heat and when the phone gets hot, and finding out that this time it's not really just me who's having this problem. It's a running theme going between several different YouTubers using the Pixel 3, but the one thing we all have in common is that we weren't invited to the Pixel event directly, so we don't have to be as biased. So here's the latest problem now with day 6 into the Pixel 3 release. I'll walk you through my morning today. So, I woke up at around 6 a.m. I do what I normally do, you know, you question life, you look around the room and go, where the heck am I? And then, logically, you start looking for your phone. So, I reached over, saw my Pixel 3 was resting on the Qi charger like any other phone I've ever owned has been for the past year. Both the Note 9 sat on this Qi charger, the iPhone 8, the iPhone 10, the iPhone 10R, the iPhone 10s Max, they've all sat on this Qi charger. Pretty basic one. And the Pixel 3 was sitting there as well, except I picked it up and, oh my god, I realized it was burning hot. Uncomfortably hot to hold, to the point that I couldn't hold it normally. I had to hold it kind of differently like this because the back of the phone was so incredibly hot, and I was concerned because I obviously was not using the phone. It was just sitting on a Qi charger, and I've used this phone on that Qi charger many times before, and I was like, what is the problem? Why is this so hot? So I click the power button, nothing happens. The display's not turning on, so I hold the power button. The Pixel 3 has been shut off all the way. It is completely turned off, and over here in Chico, at 6 a.m. It's pretty dark in the morning. The screen lights up to 100% brightness, an all-white screen with just the G logo, blasts me in the face, and I'm like, oh my god, oof. It's bright as the display can possibly be in a completely pitch black room, so I'm like, oh, I can't look at that. So I have to hold the phone like this, and that's when I was like, hey, there's a little bit of blue tint. I guess that was the one situation where you actually may run into blue tint. But I had to point the phone away from me like this because the display was so bright. But luckily, the phone turns all the way on, and then I'm greeted with this warning when it finally gets to the lock screen saying that your Pixel 3 was shut off because of heat. Your phone has gotten so hot that it had to turn itself off, and I got to start my day with my phone at a 35% battery, which is not a great way to start the morning, knowing that your phone was on a charger all night, but the phone went, nah, I don't really feel like it, and then turned off, stopped accepting charges, because I've never had this problem on the Note 9, on the S9, which I used in this exact same way, and all of my iPhones, I've never had this problem. The one thing I did differently this night, which I've done, again, on other Android phones, I've done it on the S9, the Note 9, the iPhones, is that sometimes when it's a little bit hard to sleep, I like to have a little bit of background music. So I just found a YouTube video. It was like 10 hours of chill music. I started playing the video, put it at a low volume on the Pixel 3, and then put it back on its charger. The screen off, okay? This was not loading the visuals for the video. It was just background audio from YouTube that was playing, and I thought, well, the screen's off. You know, background audio can play while the Pixel 3 is charging. Didn't think anything of it because my iPhones have never had a problem with that. Both the S9 and the Note 9, I did very similar things. Never had a problem with the phone overheating or running a YouTube video making the phone get too hot. Mind you, it was a pretty chilly morning too. It was under 65 degrees in my bedroom at the time. It was not a hot room. I even had a fan pointed at me and somewhat towards the direction of the Pixel, and this thing still got so super hot because Qi charging and running audio from a YouTube video apparently is too much for this $800 device to handle. I was very, very confused and very, very annoyed that I had to start my day with such a low battery charge, and I was annoyed that this phone tried to blind me the moment I woke up. Why is the splash screen when you turn on a Pixel like 100% full brightness white pixels? On the iPhone, it's just the Apple logo. That's it. And then it takes some time to boot up, and then it takes you to your lock screen. It doesn't go like hard white. But on top of that, it shouldn't have to shut down the phone because running YouTube audio and charging at the same time is too complicated. So of course I went to Twitter and let everyone know about the situation because I thought this was particularly annoying, and I'm still committed to the Pixel challenge. Now Now I found out that this is not an individual instance. Brian, the editor from Front Page Tech, let me know that he was watching a live stream with his Pixel 3 on the included Pixel stand, included with the hashtag Team Pixel package, because Google's all about giving you the best experience possible. Anyway, this Qi charger cost $80, and it was designed specifically to work with the Pixel 3, and Brian was watching a live stream on it, and the phone crashed due to heat problems. It was getting so hot that for the phone's safety, it had to say, I can't do this anymore, I can't run a stream, and it turned the phone off. And he was also saying that as he was watching the stream and the phone was charging, the battery percentage of his phone was going down, which is bizarre given the Pixel stand supposedly supports the faster wattage 10-watt fast wireless charging. In fact, the Pixel stand is the only way to get fast wireless charging on the Pixel 3 because Google made it so that if you try to use any other fast wireless charger on the Pixel 3, won't work. They lock it at 5 watts. They don't want you to use other 10-watt Qi chargers out there. They want you to buy their $80 one because that's the best way to do it, so you have to buy the $80 one. Very Apple of you, Google. Very, very Apple of you. So he was using that charger, but he can't use the phone and have it charge at the same time. And then another YouTuber known as Zach Talks Tech contacted me on Twitter as well and said that while he was setting up his Pixel 3, just during the installation process of, you know, setting up your phone, just setting up your profiles and stuff, the phone got so incredibly hot that it had to shut down several times. And he's gonna upload a video about that to his channel later today. If not, probably up already depending on when this video went up. Which means that we've got 3 separate instances now of the Pixel 3 not being able to handle high processing activities or even low processing activities. And I think it's because Google, when they put the Snapdragon 845 on this phone, they literally did not have any plans of trying to cool it down or any kind of heat sink. They just literally said, throw the CPU in there. If it gets hot, I guess it gets hot. Not thinking that, maybe when the phone is charging, maybe when people are using the $80 accessory they paid for with this product, and they're using it to fast wirelessly charge, it may make the phone so hot that it can't even charge the phone any further. So basically, if you want the Pixel stand to charge your Pixel 3, you have to make sure the display on the Pixel 3 is off, or definitely don't watch any videos while it's charging unless you want the battery to go down. I too noticed this because I go live on Twitch all the time, and typically, whether I'm using a Note 9 or an iPhone or whatever it may be, I load the stream up on my phone, run the live stream using my LTE because I don't want it interfering with the broadcast software, so that I can see what all of the people watching the stream can see. I can see if there's audio problems or glitches, but when I do that with the Pixel, the percentage doesn't go up. I don't gain battery as it's charging. If I'm watching a live stream on here, I lose battery, even while it's on the $80 Pixel stand. I've never had this happen on any other smartphone I've run live streams on or played music overnight on any number of Qi chargers. I've never had it be this bad before, where simply by watching content, you can overheat the phone and get the whole thing to shut itself off because it gets too hot. And now finding out on Twitter that this is becoming a common issue, man, this goes back to my original point of Google, you really ought to do something more than just, hey, there's a software update coming out later that will fix RAM management. That's a big problem because RAM management on Android is terrible and they didn't put much RAM in the Pixel 3. But you got way more problems to address than that. I'm talking free cases, I'm talking free Pixel stands, I'm talking free fast chargers. You gotta start redeeming some of these faults that you're shipping out phones and charging $800 for. And the only reason I'm saying this is because the big YouTubers aren't gonna bring it up. Why? Because when they try out the Pixel 3, they give their initial impressions. They go, hey, this feels pretty good in the hand, it takes some good pictures, and then they put it in their pocket and they go back to using whatever phone they're used to using, whether it's their OnePlus or whether it's their iPhone. There's not that many YouTubers out there that are exclusively carrying this around with them and not also carrying around a better smartphone that fixes all of the problems that you would have to put up with if this was your only option. Right now, this is the only smartphone I'm using. This is the only phone in my pocket. It's the only phone to go home with me. So I'm getting to experience all of the faults firsthand. So that's why I'm bringing them up. And I hope Google can do something about all of these issues. So I've got some theories on Google's angle for the Pixel brand, but we'll talk about that at another time. Let me know what you guys think of the Pixel 3 heating problems and charging problems down in the comments below. This is your Apple Sheep here. I'll see you in the next one.